Hello everybody and welcome to another video demonstration. This one is for the Nuzzi Assetto Corsa career app. I just wanted to make a quick video to just go over the installation process, how the actual app works, and then a little bit of explanation as to how the customizations that you can do can be done, because there needs to be a little bit of an explanation for that, and it's not one of our normal apps. This one is a Windows form application, so it's a little bit different. So once you've subscribed to the Patreon and you've got your zip folder, you can extract it, and then you'll be left with a folder just like this. So first thing I want to do to install it is see what we've got inside. So I've included a nice README that's just got everything pretty much we're going to go over here written down quite nicely. So that's always there for good reference as well. So I've split it into two folders: the game resources and the app files. So first, looking at the game resources, this just contains the skins for each of the cars that the app uses by default. You can install these in exactly the same way you would normally. So I like to do Content Manager, go to the car. Let's say we start on the Formula 4 car. I just open up a folder here, and then for the Formula 4 car, I just go ahead and drag and drop skins in just like that. And then if you don't actually own the car, I've left an install link, so you can go to Race Sim Studio and purchase it. All of the cars from Race Sim Studio, yeah, they need purchasing, but the Formula 1600, that one is a free car you can just get from Assetto World. So that's it for the installation side of things with the game resources. Now for the second part of it, it's the actual application that's in here. So these are the actual application files. The only one you want to care about is the .exe, so that actually runs the application. Don't touch or rename any of those, you'll break stuff. But if you want to move and save this anywhere you like, so I would at this level here, just paste it to wherever you want. Probably your program files is ideal. And then maybe it would be best to make a little shortcut. And this you can have, as you can see, it's the shortcut. We can do that on our desktop. That's a perfect place for that. I do have an assets folder here, but ignore all this stuff. It's just for some preview images. We'll have some actual files a little bit later that I'll show you where we can edit them. So let's just see that. And I'm even going to split. Make it. So there we go. So now into actually what the app is like when we run it. So you might find when we first run it that it pops up as a little security. If it does, you'll probably have a little notification pop up here just asking it to allow access to your file system, which you need to go ahead and allow so that it can then read and write some stuff to files, which is just needed. So it's the info panel. It's going to tell us, yep, we're ready. This is everything we can do. So we'll start off by making our profile, pop your name in, and then start career. Okay, now, and then you can choose which of the team's contracts that you've been offered you'd like to accept. So I'm going to go with Granite Racing, why not? What's this? Access is denied. So it looks like, there we go, you see. Sometimes it only asks you at this point. So what we'll do is just put that. Let's give it the access that it so wants. Allow on device. Yes, 0, that's fine. Start it again. And as you'll see now, it's perfectly happy to let us join. There we go. So now that we've clicked accept on the contract, we're being told that in Content Manager, we have a new championship to race. So let's go into content, miscellaneous, user championships, and here we go. There's us in a little Granite Racing car. See, it's already generated with your opponents, and rules are all there. Set by default, these can be edited later on. Preview images are all there, and the rounds have been automatically selected from a list. A little bit more on that later on. But yeah, so then you come into Drive, Single Championships. You can actually start that career. So say that we've done that career and we came third and our teammate came fifth. We can then go back into here, pop that information back in and submit our championship completed results. As you can see, we get a bit of analysis and feedback. Yeah, we've got bronze trophy, we passed the team's objective and we beat our teammate as well. So we increased by 8 points to our driver rating, and that's now produced us some higher level teams. You can see the objectives for these teams are a bit more ambitious. So let's go for East Anglia Formula this time. That, and then again we'll see that this has now been updated. We're now driving for this team, and the rounds might have changed as well. They might not have, but they get regenerated each time to do different tracks. Of course, you can always edit stuff in here afterwards if there's something you don't quite like as well. Let's say we did really well again, beat our teammate. And now you can see we've progressed now to driver rating 18 out of 100, which means we can access to the Formula E series contracts for those teams. And that's pretty much it. That's how the flow of the app goes. You can increase the difficulty, which will, say when I make it harder now, I accept one, you'll see that when you come into your next championship, you'll find that the opponent's strength is probably another 5 higher. And then if you were to set it low, it would be a bit lower. And then you can go ahead and save where we're at. That's this for now. But now what we want to do is we've seen how the app works, but now if we want to modify and edit and look at the files regarding all of that, what we now want to do is, now that we've run the app, we've saved, we want to go and take a look in our documents folder. Now the app will automatically generate this once you run it and do a save, and you'll now have the following files. So I'm just going to go through now what each of these is doing and a few examples of how you can edit them to change the experience as per what you would like. So I'll start off with one of the easy ones, this app config file. Pretty much leave it alone. You'll probably be asked once over the course of running the app initially to select where your game's Assetto Corsa folder is. It will come up in a nice little pop-up window. Click that, and then it's saved in there, so you don't have to do it again and again. Next one of the easy ones is the player save file. This is again another JSON file. These are all just data where it's sort of organized nicely. You can use something like Visual Studio Code or Notepad++ is really good to open these, but they can be opened in anything. But I prefer using one of these two programs because it means you've got nice formatting like we have here. So yep, that one, player save file. If I wanted to rename, Nuzzi 2, and then save it, then it would change my name. So that's it for the player save file. Too much going on there. Now this JPEG here is for the preview that you'll see in Content Manager. What you can do is change that image and then replace it, use the exact name here, and have it in there with a completely different image, and then you can have whatever preview image you would like instead. So next, going on to all opponents. This is a file that contains all of the sort of AI opponents that will be driving for teams in the app with their default AI level and aggression. They're all pretty much, you'll find the same, but all you really want to look at in this file is if you want to change the name of an opponent, you can do so and save it, no problem. And then if you choose that you're going to use different skins, what you can do is then put the folder name of the skin of the car you want to use instead. Put that in there. So I know this is for a different car completely, but say if for the Formula 1600 we had a skin called Crimson Arrow 1 Motorsport, you could put that name into there and they'd use the Crimson Arrow Motorsport skin instead. That's pretty much it for the all opponents. Moving on to the all contracts. This one has all the information regarding the teams and contracts that you'll find. So start off with all the Formula Rookie ones, and then you can see it progresses all the way down to Formula A, Zero Arrows. So if you wanted to change the team names, you can do that really easily just by team name. Save it, you don't have to update it anywhere else. But again, change the team name. If you change the skin name, you want to make sure that that skin is also changed in the actual game files. Same with if you change it by car, you want to make sure you change that by car. And then you probably also, no, that's fine for that. You don't have to worry about anything else in other files. You would just have to make sure that the game files reflect the changes that you've made in here. And now finally, the all championships.json. This is probably the one I think you'll most want to look at and change. Is if you want to change the name of the series here, you can do so. If you want to add or remove tracks from the pool of tracks that are used for each series, you can do that here. What I've done by default is only include the Kunos default Assetto Corsa tracks, just so you don't have to worry about installing loads of new tracks just to get this up and running to start with. But these track names here are all the track names, for example, you'll find in content tracks. And then say I wanted Formula A to have access to the Black Cat County, I would go here, and then KS Black Cat County. Now, if it was just one layout, then I'd simply have it just like how we've got Spa, because that's the name of the folder. But because KS Black Cat County has a number of layouts and you have to say that to them, you'll have to put, like here, it's -GP, because that's the layout of the KS Silverstone. So, just for example, KS Black Cat County, I would go dash, and if I wanted to use layout underscore int, then I'd pop it in layout underscore int for international. And that's it, then it would have that. No problem, I'd save and we'd carry on. But you can also edit other things regarding in the file here, such as how long you want to have a practice session for. 0 is just for none. Qualifying, 10 minutes, you can choose whatever. And then these are the point systems, so that's how many points you get in first place, second, third, fourth, and you can add and remove to suit whatever you want. And then of course, with a lot of these details, you can then just do them in the content manager, user championship later on. But it's good to have them done in here because then you do it once and you don't have to keep doing it in content manager. So that's pretty much it there. Just another thing just to be noted, there's two things to note. One is, for example, if I change the name of the series here to Formula Rookie, now the name of the series and championship also needs updating in all contracts, and then it's not referenced in all opponents, so that's fine. But if I changed, for example, a team name here, is that referenced anywhere else? No, so that's okay. But then car name, okay. If I change the car to use a different car, would I then need to reference that anywhere in here? No. Yes, okay. I'd also need to update the car names in there as well if I changed from using the Formula 1600 to another car. So that's just a little bit of complexity you just need to take care of. Just make sure that all three of these datas and the game data is all in correct order when you change things that appear in multiple files. However, say you've messed it all up and there's typos and you can't even see there's typos and you've saved it, whatever, and the app is now broken and it's not working. Well, the good news is what you can do is if you've made a mistake, you just want them all to go back to default and all work again, is you can just delete them, problem, delete that, easy, done, they're gone. And then if we run the app again, it will auto-generate them back to default and everything is happy. Here's the little pop-up for the Assetto Corsa game folder that I was on about earlier. As you can see now, it has populated the app config file. So that's it. I hope you really enjoy the app, and once again, thank you for your continued support. Cheers, bye.